everyone, and Happy New Year! Welcome to Living the Journey. We are at the Loretto Bistro in Mission, and we're here with the awesome Giselle, a.k.a. the branding professor. Giselle, we're gonna have an awesome conversation with you about your journey, life experiences, your evolution.
Are you okay that we're gonna go like deep and raw?
As raw as can be. Let's do it.
Hey everyone, I'm CJ Sanchez.
I'm Jenna Harris.
And we are here with our guest, Miss Giselle Mascarenhas Villarreal, who's our first guest for the new year. Happy 2021, everyone. It's been a crazy 2020, and we're excited to get going on 2021. And what better way than to bring somebody that we're both big fans of. I'm excited about having you on here today. As you know, I talked your praises several times, and you're a partner in crime in a different setting that we
y'all are co-hosts in a different
little video podcast.
Should I be jealous?
This is the best of both worlds for me right now.
We could be a threesome. We could be a threesome.
This is
I like that.
We're starting off 2021 with a threesome, you guys.
This just got real spicy.
That's
what I like you too.
Yeah, we're setting the tone for 2021, y'all. This is not.
I think that means freedom.
Yeah. Absolutely. I want to jump right into it.
Let's
do it. I want you to give us a little bit of your background, a little bit of what's.
I've lived many lives.
Well, you wear many
like a cat.
You wear many hats, and that's one of the things that I admire about you. You're a mom. You're a wife. You're a personal branding coach, you're a volunteer, you're a board member, you're a co-host, you're a friend, you do a lot, you really do wear hats, and you wear them all like full 100% through. I can vouch for that. And I'd like, those that haven't had the opportunity to be blessed with that, to know that about you, just give us a little bit of insight on it.
Yeah, well, okay, so I'm going to take you on a quick journey of being born. It was a cold hard night. I just realized today, actually, you know how some of them let you go, it'll say, okay, what year were you born? And now the little calendar pops up. I was born on a Saturday. I just learned that today. So I've always been, I comfortably can say that I'm charismatic. Yeah. Like, I know it may sound conceited, but if I look back until like when I was like little, and I was always the one people wanted to be around. Yeah. But I was like a really ugly duckling. So I have these, seriously, I would walk home from school and everybody thought I was a boy. So they were like, oh, little boy, like, can you please go get the newspaper for me? Because I was walking home, and this was like all the time. So now that I look back, and because, at my age, at 48, I am super self-aware. So when things creep up, I'm like, that was when those damn people thought I was a boy. It's a trigger. Or something happens, and I'm like, damn ex-husband. But you're aware. Yeah. You're aware. And so, I've always been that person. I was the one wearing parachute pants. I was the one doing, the like every trend or whatever.
Whatever they call that.
Yeah. It was, what was that called?
Like, isn't it crimping or like
No, baby. Oh, you were born. I forgot what it was called. Yeah. But I would do the word.
Well, you were going like that. That's another one.
Yeah, like I did all of them.
I saw. Did you see that?
And she can dance too. I kind of can. And I thought I was going to be either a professional salsa dancer or, I grew up, I never thought about what does my wedding dress look like, or never. I didn't even think about getting married at all, ever.
Really?
3 marriages later.
Well,
But I never thought about it.
It's all part of the journey.
There you go.
It's part of the journey. So just to give you an initial, I'm adventurous. Can you tell? Reading husbands. I kind of jump all into things. But as I grew older, I realized that being spontaneous isn't actually something that's productive. It can be fun, but it isn't something that's going to build, you know, a scalable business.
So you need a little structure. You need some guidance.
And this girl just learned that a few years ago and really implemented in COVID in 2020 because I've always been so busy. So, you know, being from here, I was the nightclub owner, so I was really well known. You know, there wasn't a lot of nightclubs at the time when I had Prada.
What was the name of your nightclub?
Prada and Mint.
Oh shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's what?
Yeah.
You were
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. So I was Prada, and that was before Mint,
right.
and we only had there wasn't anything around.
Yeah, there wasn't.
And so my ex-husband owned Club X,
Yeah.
and Club X turned into Metropolis. And then we got together, and I had been an international flight attendant.
Okay.
So I was traveling.
Yeah, I had no clue about
You're
that.
very worldly.
You guys,
Airplane, like, we gotta put a little airplane.
you have no idea how many lives I've lived. Like, no idea how many lives I've lived. But I will tell you that something that's always been true is I will lean into my visions, my dreams, and I will find a way.
Yeah.
And then in a lot of those, I realize, like, no, it's not something I really want to do, or I get influenced by the people around me, or that doesn't happen anymore as much. But, and so I was always shifting, trying to find the it.
So what is the it?
The it is extracting the magic from people and connecting that magic to the tribe that they serve. That is my it. And so, and if I look back, that's always been the it. When I was a nightclub owner, my favorite part was, are you having a good time?
Yes.
How are you doing? Da, 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 da. And then the next day, switching all the furniture around for it to look like a different nightclub.
To have a different experience.
Wow.
Every day.
Wow.
So I think I was people thought it was nuts, but they would clean the carpets every day at our nightclub. So it never smelled like smoke.
Yeah.
So they'd come in, it would smell like smoke, right? They'd smoke and everything. And the next day, we'd clean the carpets, we'd like do a deep, thorough cleaning, and I'd change all the furniture around. So, because I was trying to give people an experience. It wasn't anything, a pat on the back, but I didn't know how to manage all that. The other thing that kind of evolved from was I always wanted to help people.
Yeah.
But I always did it wrong until now. So before, when I had like money, I didn't know how to really deal with having money in that capacity. So I would pay people's rent, or I'd pay their school, or I'd help them with a car. Yeah, stupid stuff. Yeah.
No, that's not.
So
but
you weren't.
No.
Yeah, but I get what you're
Let me
saying. Like,
tell
but
you-
your heart was in the right place.
My
but-
heart-
Yeah.
Yes, but what happened was, please learn this. What happened was, then when it stopped, because it always stopped, because I was like, okay, I helped you. Now I'm going to move on to somebody else. It was like, how dare you?
Just take and take and take.
So in therapy, I realized, because I would say, and my ex would always say, the common denominator is you're the problem. And I believe that. No, I realized that the common thread in there is I wanted to help, but I was doing it wrong. Right? I wasn't helping someone trying to find their way. I wasn't extracting their magic.
Something.
I wasn't extracting their magic.
You were, it's like
It
a
was
saying,
like immediate gratification.
you teach a man to fish type of deal.
Right,
You know what I mean?
yeah. So, like for a very long time, until the last few years, honestly, people loved me and then they hated me. It was this weird, it was like, what did I just do? And I couldn't understand it. But it was severe. It was a lot. It was people that made decisions about me, didn't even know me, but there was something that was rubbing them the wrong way, and I couldn't figure it out. Like, I could never figure it
Put
out.
a finger on it.
But at the same time, you're processing that, so that's got an internal, like, to kind of ask yourself that question and feel it from certain people.
Yeah.
Like, that's got to be a huge.
I feel it from people who didn't know me.
Yeah.
That's the hardest part. People that you respected out there, and you could feel the cold shoulder, and I was like, I don't understand why.
Yeah.
But what happens is that these people that I've helped along the way, the wrong way. It's my fault. It's not their fault. And then it's kind of like you're used to something and then it's just taken from you. And that's what I would do. I would help and then I'd be like, okay, I'm done. You can do this now. But it was like, what do you mean you're done? You didn't even give me a warning. You didn't show me how to do it myself. Like, how dare you?
And you kind of take that in like, dude, I just helped you. You
In
know?
my head, it was
Yeah.
like, what?
Yeah.
So what shifted? You talk about how it used to be and how it is now. So what is different?
Self-analyzation. Realizing that yes, my ex-husband was right in the way I am the common denominator, and what is wrong? The parties was not right, was that there was no reason to get people feeling that way, but I had to shift, wanting to help, I had to shift doing it in a way that I was helping people do it for themselves.
Wow.
Period, the end. So if you're asking about something, I'm always the person that's going to give you solutions.
Yeah.
You might not
Let
like
me show
them.
you how
I'm
to
gonna
do
show
it.
Yeah.
Not do it for you.
I've experienced that firsthand where I'm like, I don't want to do that. And you're like, but we're gonna do it.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to do certain things, so Giselle also serves as a board member for the Mission Chamber of Commerce and is kind of been our saving grace this past year.
Don't hate me.
It was never. It's just kind of like you said. You kind of push. There's things that we're not comfortable with, right? And so whenever we're not comfortable with something, it's when you're just kind of questioning everything. Yeah, you're kind of just like, wait, I don't like speaking. I don't like doing what we started a whole show. I felt comfortable to reach out to somebody that we have just and kind of really taken it to the next level. And I've credited that to you before. And
Well, it's not me.
It's just
I happen to be that person that was like, I see your magic. You've got to see it.
Yeah.
And the only way to see it is to push you in.
Yeah.
And so
Is that your magic? What would you say your magic?
I'm a
What's your
pusher.
gift? You're a pusher.
Put it in the book.
I'm a pusher.
Yeah.
So even now, I'm a part of this, accountability group that's from all over the nation, right? And we just
No big deal though. No big deal.
It's really pretty phenomenal. And we created the summit, right? And the purpose of the summit was to give these really talented people who didn't know how to get on a stage. That's all our goal was, right? To give them a stage. And then everybody who came and witnessed this, an experience of how to get it done.
Yeah.
So the whole thing, I think, in life and the people that I'm attracting now, and they can see that, is they want to be a part of somebody who's just getting it done.
Yeah.
Or they want to be influenced by that because they feel that in them as well.
Right.
And I think that, because I'm clearly standing in my power.
Yeah.
I understand what my gift is and how I can impact the world with it.
And I think that's what makes all the difference when you start to understand what it is that you're good at and you own it.
Yeah.
You don't question it. And like you said something at the beginning, you said, oh, that might sound conceited. But it's not. That's understanding what it is that you're good at and using it for a greater good.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I see in you, these days that I've been following you on social media. I see that magic. I see that you're owning your gifts. And I think we feel it.
Absolutely.
That's why I'm excited to talk to you.
Yeah, I'm excited that you share that because we were kind of not wanting to make sure we don't say anything that we wanted to say on camera, but that it's true. There's just been, I've experienced that push of you seeing, for somebody to tell you, I see something in you.
Yeah.
I don't care how old you are or what you're doing. We were knee deep or everything deep into 2020.
I know what you wanted to say.
Yeah, I wanted to say something else. Sorry, but
you can't say that one.
well, we can, but yeah. I was gonna say balls deep, but whatever.
Oh,
yeah,
Not the same for
no,
me.
All right. Move forward. Back to the compliment. That there was a time, we were, there was no confidence in a lot of things. There was a lot of uncertainty, a lot of questioning, how do we do things for a nonprofit? Figuring out how are we going to continue to move forward. And then it comes Giselle. Well, we need to go online. We need to do virtual.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
And then I remember you were like, I guess we're going to postpone the event this year. And I'm like, no.
No.
No, we're not.
Yeah, and I remember that first conversation, okay. Yeah,
what are we doing? And I was like, it's actually a lot simpler than you think.
And that's just a small example, because I'm not the only person that has been impacted by your magic and what you bring to the table. And for, Jenna to see it in a different perspective. And really, one of the things that I think is really amazing is that you've been really preaching this and practicing this and implementing is being vulnerable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if we didn't learn that last year, we didn't. If we didn't learn a lot of things, it was a time for self-reflection. And I think even moving into everything that we're going into, even now that we're starting a new year, being able to just be who we are in any capacity. Whether you're trying to start something, whether you're trying to start a podcast, whether you're trying to rebrand yourself, or just be you. Like we have nothing holding us back anymore. You know what I mean? And that viewpoint, like, was not there before. I straight up say that. Like, to say that, to be comfortable having conversations on camera, to spark the idea with somebody that, we literally, that was like, what, a month in maybe, of just like, as a new chamber member, and just knowing that there was a passion magnet that that attracted us both. And I told you about it, and when we were, and it was kind of like, hey, does this sound weird? She's like, no.
Hell no.
Absolutely not. Yeah, and it was like, all right, and here we are. And that's why for me, this is kind of like a full circle moment, because it's really, it's what a great message to start 2021 in. You know what I mean? Like, just giving that inspiration, you know what I mean? Or that
permission, actually.
Yeah.
Giving everyone permission to just be.
Yes, absolutely.
That's it. I was doing a coaching call today, and literally, they kept asking, but what's the right way? And I was like, the right way is just showing up.
There you go.
That's the right way. Mm-hmm. Just show us. Like, make a decision and just show up so people can rely on you, and people can bet on you, and they can like make you the security blanket when they don't feel secure enough, because you're gonna be there. You're gonna show up, and that is as simple as deciding, like, okay, I'm going to do this on social media. I'm going to start to share the value that I want the people that I can start, I want them to experience. But if you're going to show up, then show up. Because if you go then you go one day, and then 7 days later you post, and then you're back in a month.
Yeah, no one
can rely on you.
Yeah, exactly.
And
it does mean something.
I love, this is where Jenna, we balance each other out. And it's weird, because I think we've gone through, at the end of the day, whether you're doing anything that requires you to be present, life is happening, right? You know what I mean?
Always.
Things are going on in the background, and if we don't have that moment of just realizing, hey, you still need to get up and be present,
You have to show up.
And that's where I give Jenna a lot of credit for that, because I wake up and I'm like, all right, here we go. You know what I mean? Like, kind of like trying to, like, I'm not necessarily like ready to get going again, and I see an inspirational, motivational quote, or something, or gratitude, your reminder, and it's just like, man, those things, I just can't, like, put my specific title on it or whatnot, but I just know everything happens for a reason. People come into your lives for a reason, and it's just, what better time than when you're questioning and just not feeling it 100% consistently, for that, a pusher and a motivator at the same time.
A doer.
Yeah, that's why this threesome works.
It's why it works. Hey, something that I wanted to talk to you about is your lifestyle changes. I'm so impressed with everything that you're doing. Let's talk about it.
I mean, it started 2 years ago. A complete 2 years. So it was we're in 2021, so it was 2019 going into 2020, right? That would be 2 years.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm like, every single fourth quarter, it starts pretty lightly in October, and then I get really hardcore end of November into December of reflecting, analyzing, what am I going to leave here? What am I going to do more? So everybody's kind of like, and I am revved up, right? To plan out my next year, like, what do I want to accomplish? And so I did this thing called a life wheel, right? And I realized I was so lopsided.
What's a life wheel?
So life wheel is like, it constantly. So if you Google life wheel, it'll give you all these different types of assessments that you can take, and it'll show you where you are paying attention. And you cannot live an extraordinary life. You cannot live a full life if you're not balancing in one way or another. All of them. Everyone's definition of balance is different, right? But there is a balance that's needed. I had no balance. It was all work. and so when I looked at that, the one thing that concerned me most of all was finances, and it was health. And I was like, I'm getting older.
Question. Okay, so what made you look at that life wheel? What is it that drove you to even assess your life in that way?
Well, I I think we were a couple years already into, or a year or two, I don't remember how long. I have PTSD from my husband running for Congress, right?
Mm-hmm.
And during that time, like politics is really dark.
Absolutely.
My husband is a light human being, so even in the darkest of moments, he's light. Like I can just look at him and he really is.
So sweet.
And so because I just wanted to be a support system to him. So I was never going to complain. I was miserable. Like miserable. I lived in a car. We were driving all the time. We were in front of people who were literally, they were like, "Oh, you're such a good Mexican." Like saying things like that where I wanted to punch them in the face, right? But I had to they don't know any better. They weren't doing it on purpose.
Yeah.
They just didn't know any better. And so there were a lot of, and all I was doing was stuffing my face. Like it was like this. So we come out of that. It took me a little while to even come up for air from that. I was still stuffing my face, but not like just trying to find my balance as I'm still working, right? And I was like, okay, I'm not healthy. I don't feel good. Like I'm going upstairs and I can't even breathe. I've never been that person.
Yeah.
I've been a lot of things, but I've never been that person.
Yeah.
And I was there. And I kept thinking, my dad died of a heart attack. Like my dad had heart disease, period. He had a triple bypass, a quadruple bypass, and a double bypass, like with triple bypass. What is it? This is the one that has two. And then he died. So I was like, that is where I'm going. Like, it doesn't matter how healthy I used to be. The past doesn't matter. Like, what happened yesterday doesn't even matter. So I started to assess. That's what made me assess. Like, okay. And I had an accountability group. And so we were all like, okay, we've got one. I hadn't been to a doctor in 12 years. Somebody else hadn't been to their doctor, and they had a lot of issues with their health. And she hadn't even been to a doctor. And we're all very successful, professional, like high-performing people.
Yeah.
And we were so off balance. So we were like, okay, you guys, we're gonna pinky swear that we're gonna do all the things that we need to do, and we all made
each other together.
We made each other. We wouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
So that
That's
group that
beautiful.
started with 5, we ended at 3, and we're still accountable every morning to each other.
No way.
Every
So when you're
morning.
checking in, what do you check in?
We
with?
check in. Well, first, this group that we're together, we wake up at 5 a.m.
Okay.
So we check in at 5 a.m. You up? You up? Okay, awesome.
Okay.
What is your routine today? Like, are you gonna do yoga? Because we work out every single day, we meditate every single day, and we study every day. So what are you studying right now? And then we check in throughout the day, because we're now inseparable, right? And we check in throughout the day about like what are our goals. So we all know what our goals are. So we're pushing each other into that. But it started there, and I literally started with 5 minutes of just getting up and like moving, dancing, breaking a sweat, and then like dying. It started just like that, and then to 20 minutes. And then
That's what I always
walking.
say. Just start.
Just start.
Just start and just move. Do something that feels good to your body. It could be dancing. It could be sweeping.
Yeah, just something.
I don't like to do that, but it just moves your body. Anything to get the blood going. It clears your head. It makes your heart happy. It's just a full connection.
I think I will tell you that I was just at a point where I was like, I want to be healthier, whatever it takes. But I knew I didn't want to fail. I was done going all in such a big way that it was just too much. So I was like, and I had read Atomic Habits. and it's a book that clearly defines how over time you can make everything you want happen. But if you do it in baby steps, is how you're going to win. Because if you try to change your whole lifestyle from one day to the next, you're going to fail over and over. So I had already decided I'm doing 5 minutes. And then when I feel better, I'll do more. And now I walk a minimum, 2 to 5 miles a day.
You're always walking.
But I need it now.
Absolutely.
So I absolutely...
Now you crave it, right?
So during the summit, they won't see this. No, they probably won't, to be honest. But during the summit, I saw I have time. I'm not going to have to speak, so I would turn the thing off and I'd go walk because I had to. Because it was 10 hours, and so I was exhausted by the end of it. But I could not walk, and that's where I am at now. When I could have never have seen that.
So if you're someone who was where you were at, very off balance, where do you recommend they start? What should they do?
Well, I think they should Google the life wheel because they need to figure out where they're off balance, right? So if it is health, if we're talking about health, like you said, just move and lean on people like yourself. Like you answer all your DMs, so there's no reason somebody can't DM you and go, okay, I have no idea, like, just what recipe could I do that's super easy? That's kind of like what I did. And what I realized was like, okay, just whatever's fresh on the, like whatever God made, that just eat that.
Right.
Whole
And
foods. There were sometimes I would eat 7 avocados a day. That's not good. But at least it wasn't something else.
Processed
It wasn't a water burger.
Yeah.
It wasn't bread. I was like, because I didn't know what to eat. Because I don't cook. So I would get so like, well, an avocado.
Hey, but there's so much free information on the internet,
Yeah,
right?
that's
Like,
true.
you know, and that's
You need
That's why we do things
DM
like-
her because she'll give you some.
we chat, we
Yeah.
chat occasionally.
Yeah, but I need to do that more.
She slides into my DMs.
There's so much tone being said in this in 2021, y'all.
Oh.
No, but it's true because like I'll call her and I'll call Jenna, and she's like, yeah, I'm just sautéing blah blah Brussels sprouts and this or that and bean sprouts
Living the life.
and it sounds great, and I'm just like, why the hell did I think of that? That's so easy, but it's yeah.
I lived on Whataburger and churches, and that's my mom. My mom worked really hard,
Yeah.
and so that's how we lived.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then, and then I got into, like, I'm a foodie, and then I got into foods or whatever, but that stuff's not good for you either.
Well, I think
You know,
it's
so
a
it's like I
balance.
went from an extreme.
One of the things is that I want to have for you is that you've made it, and it seems you give the perception. I know that behind the scenes it's not always like that, but you've created a balance for yourself, and it
Yes.
shows.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like that
Yeah.
comes through. In
It
some
shows in your success,
Absolutely.
in your health,
Yep.
you're glowing, you look
Yes.
healthy, you're working out,
Yeah.
you're vibrant. I mean,
Yeah. I
It
think
shows.
it really has to do with my morning ritual, you guys.
So share it.
Yeah.
Give us that insight.
Well, the
Yeah.
morning ritual is literally like you have to have time for yourself. If you do not have time to love yourself, which means you get up when no one else is awake, and you meditate, and you pray, and you give gratitude, because that already just your vibration goes through the roof. Because just the easy, like if you're concentrating on what you don't have, then you're gonna have more of that.
Yep.
If you're concentrating on what you do have, your health, the fact that you're alive, let's just start there.
Yeah,
You woke up.
Whoa.
Seriously, it is that
vibrations
Right,
in
right?
the air.
This threesome's intense,
I
you guys.
sometimes don't understand, like, how do people take that in itself for granted?
Yeah.
Just sit in a moment and just realize so many people didn't wake up today. That's it. Like, so many people didn't wake up today, and it is a gift. Now, what are you going to do with it?
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of where self-realization, not being focused at that time on the campaign. I was focused on hating being on the campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of focused on, I'm helping my husband try to realize his dreams. That is amazing.
Right.
You know, like,
There's a
but
sacrifice
I,
that you
and I would do it again.
Mhm.
Of course, I would do it differently, but
More balanced.
More balanced. But I was, because it's easy. It's hard to get out of a dark place,
Yeah.
right? And I am really strong mentally, so nobody knew, not even him.
Mhm.
They just saw me getting bigger and bigger and bigger, but nobody knew, and I didn't want to share it because I wanted to be the supportive wife.
Yeah.
Like, he deserves whatever he wants, he deserves it. And so, but God, there's some times that whatever your spouse wants is miserable to you.
It's just like-
Mark is probably like, yes. He edits all of our videos. He's
He
so
loves
good. He
you.
puts in time and energy, and I'm so grateful for it. But I'm pretty sure it's like that. He's
Yeah, and it's trust me, the other way around. There's many things he's just like, really? And I'm like, but do you see my magic?
But that's why they obviously, because if not, then you wouldn't have those supportive,
well, and
spouses.
I also see it a lot on your social media. It seems like maybe the roles have reversed now.
Yes, absolutely.
He is your number one fan. He is behind the scenes. He's on the ground taking pictures from all the good
Yes.
angles. Like,
Yeah, he's
he's paying his dues now.
Yes, oh my God. But it has always been, in our
Partnership.
13 years together, it's always been that. So remember, when I met him, he was mayor.
Yeah.
So I changed my entire life to go live in Rio Grande City
With that, yeah.
and be completely hated. That's another podcast.
Yes.
And but God, just what he was doing for that community, nothing else mattered.
Yeah.
So my life was his. It was bigger picture, right? Then we shifted, and then he was working with me to build our company, and it was all about me. And and then he gets this job, and he's doing incredible in La Jolla, And I tell him, I don't want clients anymore. I need to build my institute, so I'm not going to bring any income in. And he was like, that's fine. So who does that?
He believes in you that much.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I want to use that to segue into where you're at now and what
I
this
bring
is.
income in now.
Good to know. That's not where the question was going, but great.
But I want you to know.
Want to clarify that.
Self-worth right there.
There you go.
Self-worth.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
got my finances
There you go.
on check.
There you go. Amazing, because I wanted to segue into that. Where are we now?
Oh,
Give
Lord.
us that.
We're still at the baby stages.
I'm
We
still-
still are at the baby stages
It's
because
very humble of you to say, because mind you, you've already been featured on BuzzFeed, Yahoo. I'm missing some
Yes,
because
so that's okay.
no. I
No,
want to name them.
yeah,
No,
yeah,
I
this
want to name them.
This is
Global
why we're
Thrive,
here. This is why we're here.
medium.
No, and this is a big deal because you know what? You're a product of the Rio Grande Valley.
I am. I
And
love the valley.
and one of the things, and that's part of what when we created this platform, you know, we wanted to inspire. We wanted to on multiple levels, and Jenna's done amazing at inspiring on the health and wellness aspect of things.
Absolutely.
And
you
bringing-
in the community.
Well, you know, it's a
I
balance
think
act.
you're the one that started the trend.
Well, I
I wanna
don't
say
really know
you were-
a lot of other people
No,
are kind of
because
putting it out there.
I remember the whole like vegan. I'm like, that's gross. What is she doing? Why is she doing? And then to me,
Yeah.
remember I was eating Whataburger. And then I was like, God, she's so beautiful though. Wow, I wonder. So if I eat what she's eating, do I look like that? And then I started to ask questions, and then I was going through her drive-thru every day, and I was like, I'm just gonna do a little something of what she does. I don't know. Like it was just like a little something. But it starts there. You get curious about somebody you admire,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
then you start to ask yourself questions.
Yeah.
But you guys, it doesn't happen overnight.
Right.
It happens over time. That was 4 years. Okay, when did you do Shake Express? 4 years ago?
4 or 5 years, babe.
5 years ago.
5 years ago.
That's when I started getting curious about what is that in that green thing? Like, why is it green? Do people
Is
really
it
drink that? Because I had not been around any of
And
that.
they're selling that
Yeah.
for money.
People pay for that?
I'm obsessed with it, by the way. It's kind of scary.
Yeah,
Thank you.
delicious.
Thank you all.
Yeah, I had juice.
But you
now.
know what it is?
I
I
so much closer.
Yeah. It's true, and you know
I
what?
mean,
Like,
I'm
if,
a step closer.
if you have a juicer, why do I always see you at Shake Express?
Exactly. And you
I
know
love
what?
it. Let me
I
do
like
it for
know
you.
the staff. I'm already like, hey, you know, can
Yeah.
I get blah blah blah?
Yeah.
They know, or I won't say it to
Yeah.
me, and I'll call an order, and they're like, okay, we'll have it ready, right? And I'm like, all right, cool. But
Yeah.
you know, it's true, and I think like, you know, we're all of that. You know, we wanted to create something that inspires people, right? And I think one of the things is that we don't give ourselves this area enough credit for the good, right? You know, I
There's
think
magic here.
there is so much,
So much
and
talent.
and that's why it was so important
So
for us to
much
start 2021 with this kind of guest, with you as a guest, with somebody that has that mindset, that is inspiring, that is starting things, that's, you know, pushing the limits for yourself and others.
Oh,
Absolutely, yeah. You're a pusher.
Yeah.
You can
and
push me all day, baby.
Yeah, I'm done. You know, Femme City was the reason that I got into Femme City was because I saw the opportunity to finally put our beautiful women shoulder to shoulder
Yeah,
with
that's a
women
great-
across the world.
Believing that we can too.
Because I knew we were doing it. I knew we could. And now we're shoulder to shoulder
That's so
and we are shining bright. In that community, the entire community knows who the Rio Grande Valley is. And their perception of us isn't what the news says.
Right.
Their perception of us is like, what is in the water over there? Everybody's beautiful, everybody's successful, everybody. Yes.
Aww,
Yes.
you were part of that.
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
It
you
was an
started that.
intention. I know what we have down here. I see it all the time. I see all this magic, and it's like, it's so beautiful, but we're so defined by other people who don't even know us.
Mm-hmm.
That is exactly why this was such a big passion project for me and Jenna to this, and you know, I'll let you chime in on that on your own, but we just, the passion for what we wanted to bring to our community,
Yes.
what we wanted to inspire, you know, what we wanted to kind of bring everybody to have a place to talk about it all, you know what I mean, but still have our place to, you know, inspire.
The thing is, what I see about our area is that we're unique. There's no one
That
that has
we are.
our flavor, that has the experiences, that has I don't know, we're just so special because of where we live.
Yeah.
You know, we're a fusion
Absolutely.
of people. And
There is no other place like this.
No,
No,
there isn't.
there's
And everybody
our
that comes here
culture
is like, huh.
Is so unique. You're
It is.
right, Jenna.
And then the other beautiful thing is I see our area as being like the last frontier of opportunity for expansion, for growth, for businesses that haven't made it here yet, but they're coming.
Mhm.
They're
SpaceX
coming.
is here.
Oh my God.
SpaceX is here.
Tesla's coming.
Look at, I was going to say, look,
Sorry.
when that, no, I'm excited. I'm like, Tesla is, yes, because we have a Michelin star chef.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want you to like think about
cool.
those things.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Think about those things. Guess what's coming? It's going to be,
Oh, absolutely.
and you know what? Admission Chamber is going to be in the forefront.
Yeah, we are. We're
Because you're always, and that's what I love. That's why I'm so proud to be a part of it, because there isn't a like no, let's not do that. Where a lot of chambers they're just too busy trying to be power
Mhm.
instead of like we don't matter. It's
People.
our
Yeah.
it's our members who matter.
Absolutely.
Like we don't matter.
I told CJ I didn't really know what it meant to be a part of a chamber, truly. It's something that you did when you were moving into a new business and you're like, I gotta go sign up
Just
with
for
a chamber.
ribbon cutting.
You know,
Ribbon
just
cutting is what.
ribbon
everything-
cutting just so you can get the certificate on your wall. But it wasn't actually like I thought I was gaining anything, any information or help, a resource. So it wasn't until I met CJ and worked with the people from the Mission Chamber that I really understood what it was all about. I mean, I
No, you understood the way it's supposed to
the
be.
way it's supposed to be.
Because I've been a part of a dozen chambers.
It's not like
No.
that. Not like that.
I'm gonna full
No,
on,
I mean, I can feel the difference. For
I'm
sure.
gonna full on give credit. I a quick shout out Brenda, Amanda, Jennifer,
Yes.
Lottie, Simon,
Yes.
everybody. Like
It's
Buddy
this
stuff.
beautiful team.
yeah,
this
it's a
synergy.
team effort, and
Yeah.
everybody has that. You know, it's
Mindset.
weird when you're building a team, and Brenda's done a great job of kind of leading that in the sense that everybody we're inspired and we're there for the people. We're there
Yeah.
for our members.
Yes.
Our board
Yes.
has
Oh
been-
my God.
I mean, our
get
board
gifts
is-
all the time. Like, why are you here?
Hey, that's
what?
awesome.
Like all the time. They're so loving,
But
so
our-
appreciative.
But
yes.
no, but you guys, as individual, like you're literally volunteering your time, your talent. You know, we've got a really
Because
diverse.
it's important.
Yes,
like,
it
I
is.
love being
It
a part of
is.
this community.
It is.
I want to be. I want to affect people. I want to impact people and create opportunity.
Right.
That's what I want to do.
Speaking of opportunity, tell us what's coming in 2021.
Yes, please.
What can we expect from the
a little
branding
sample,
professor?
something.
Oh no, I mean there's a lot going on. So I just partnered up with this gentleman who is a marketing guru. He lives in Hawaii. He is a marketing he's just a genius in digital marketing. And we have a membership site that's launching. It's super gamified. It's oh my god, it's a whole like I can't explain it because I'm shocked that I'm a part of this. But
Wow.
yeah, so and it'll be a membership site that's going to be really affordable. It's gonna have 2 levels, $47.97 a month. But we're going to be coaching in there. We're going to be doing a whole bunch of courses. So that's coming.
So you're going to recruit us,
Wow.
is what you're saying.
I mean, yeah.
Remember I said I gave you full permission to push.
Yeah.
I want to be pushed.
Yes. And so that's coming. I am doing still some pivoting. So I've done several launches
Yes.
so I'm on my second beta course to perfect a 12-week course because it's about a branding book, right? It's a book so you don't have to ever feel the overwhelm of what to post. And so we go through these stages through the 12 weeks to develop your pillars, to develop so that you can see your magic. And you're not second guessing what to post and how to post and everything. It's all there for you. So it's a really beautiful experience. I'm so obsessed with it. So we're perfecting that, and that launches. There's only 2 openings for enrollment in 2021. So we're only having 2 12-week sessions. Yeah. And then I was going to do a 12-month. So I had this whole thing. I was going to do a 12-month program. But talking to the people that coach me, and analyzing the several launches, some of them great, some of them not so great, not because the product isn't great, because I'm still learning how to do it.
Yeah.
I'm still learning how to launch this type
The
of
baby
product.
steps.
And you know what? I'm okay. I'm okay to invest, and it's not losing, because now I know how to do it better.
Right.
And I know how to do it better. And that's the other thing I realized, was that you can't do it alone. You have
Oh,
you
yeah.
have to invest in people. You have to delegate. like all these things. You have to build systems and processes. All these things as a creative, it was like yeah. You were just going. You were just doing. You were just and there's a lot to literally building a scalable worldwide business. There's a lot, and I'm just at the baby stages. But 2021, it will be about like really having a solid, solid products and solid programs so that people can build their brands. And I'm just excited about that.
You're awesome. I don't know where you find the time to do all of that, plus stay balanced.
And so humble. Like you're really like you text, you send a text and you get a response. You get a voice message. You are literally every time I reach out to you on a Saturday, on a Sunday, you're on a call, you're doing something like it's. So I appreciate that. And I think one of the things that like stands out.
I respond to everybody. Jesus
One of the things that I've always, and I give Jen the same. Everybody wears multiple hats here, and the fact that you give somebody that time, that just like, it may not be right away, but you got back to them, like that's a big deal. And when you're juggling as much as you're juggling, I just always appreciate it. And I think, I hope this is not the last time. I think we're gonna, I'd like to have the same conversation at the beginning of 2022.
Let's do it. It's a date.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it's just really cool to see that evolution. And I think that's a really great way to segue into this new year. And we are so appreciative that you took the time to join us.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
I loved being here. And I hope that everybody who listens to this realizes that whatever it is that is like pulling at your heart, and you like envision this dream and you think it's just a dream, if you can see it in your head, you can feel it in your heart, you can make it happen. You can make it happen.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm looking at you like, that's exactly what we're.
That's beautiful, Giselle.
Absolutely.
You couldn't have
It's-
said it any better.
Yeah.
It's true, and I hope that people realize that.
I love that.
Awesome.
Guys, thank you so much for tuning in today. If you are tuning in for the first time, thank you so much for joining us. If you're returning, thank you for following us. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, our Facebook, our Instagram. It's Living the Journey RGV. Giselle, thank you so much
Thank you.
for being with us.
Thank you so
We
much.
appreciate it.
Do it again.
Yes, the first of the year.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
See you
We'll see you next
Bye-bye.
time.